extremely early, but it's been a couple of scrimmages and some practices watching Strome's skill set next to McDavid's. You noticed anything or anything that tells you that it has a chance to work?
I don't even think it's fair. You kind of answered the question the same way I will. It's not even fair after two 50-minute straight-time games with a complete mix of first-year junior players and NHL players to evaluate where he's at and the chemistry that they have. He's figuring things out as we go. He had one day where he scored a goal in scrimmage. That was great, but we won't be able to tell you that or answer those questions until we really get going.
The last few years, especially you came in your first year, you had to teach a whole system to a group. You've basically got 85-90% of your team back. A few guys like Strome and Jokinen. Do you just work a little extra one-on-one with the new guys and then just go comprehensive as a group, just small tweaks on what you did last year? How do you? Is it easier to bring in when you only have one or two rather than 10 or 12?
Well, it's never easier. Every year takes on its own set of circumstances, whether it's the veterans, new players, combinations of both. Sometimes the veterans forget what the simple basics are, and you have to take them back to that level. They want to get ahead of themselves all the time, and unless you have your standard foundation in place and you're living up to it, you can't graduate your team, and we're doing that right now. Some of the newcomers that we think have a real good chance at competing for jobs here had a little tutorial before camp started, on testing day where they could sit and watch some video with some of the coaching staff, and it's more to learn the language. The game is played the same in a lot of places, but the language that we use, we don't want to be confusing them, and they've picked it up fairly well.
Is there a method to it? Obviously there is, because Benning, Russell aren't playing either game here or there. Stanton is a veteran, he's not playing either, so you want to see younger defensemen rather.
Yeah, we do. We want to play some players, give them an opportunity early here to get their feet wet, give them an idea what it's going to feel like as we move forward, and find out if they deserve to move forward. And that's what we're doing tonight. Some of the veterans, you mentioned Benning and Stanton and those type of guys, we're 4 days into competitive camp. Some have bumps and bruises already, and we have to consider that as well. So, as we move forward, everybody's going to get an opportunity to perform and to show us their stuff. We play 5 games this week. By the time Sunday rolls around, that's a lot of hockey, and everybody's going to have an opportunity to go.
You probably won't cut down then until we got so many games this week.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? You may see 1 or 2 players dribble out a little bit, but probably Wednesday, Thursday, we're looking at making some big decisions, and then it'll dwindle after that.
Todd, this used to be a camp where young kids came in and had a shot and a real chance to make the team right away. For years before you came, there was juniors making it all the time. Now it's not. You can almost pick this team from a media standpoint. What's the difference?
I read.
What's the difference in running a camp where there's very few jobs?
Camp for us and the approach is very much the same. We want to see the young players. We want to see them approach each game and how they their practice skills, how they play, and all that type of stuff. But we have a more established lineup, as you mentioned. We want to make sure that we're getting our team ready to play. Opening night sneaks up on you fairly quick. So we spend a little bit more time with the veteran players, a little bit more time with our team. You'll see that once we divide the groups coming up and try and get prepared, and that's the ultimate goal. But in the meantime, we're also concerned about those young players. We want to see where they fit in and leave them with a good taste as they go back to their own teams.
You seem to want to play Bear and Jones together. What do you see?
Well, we don't necessarily want to play them together, but they've started. They played some of the hockey together in Penticton, not always, but some. And we'll put them in a game tonight where the intensity is going to go up. The pace is going to be a little bit quicker, and we'll see if they can communicate with each other, use some of the things that we've talked about in the first 4 days, and look at their game at that point.
One of the young guys on your team hoping to become a regular is Jujhar Khaira. What do you want to see from him? I know it's only scrimmage, but he's scored a lot early on. I don't know if that's necessarily what he's looking for, but do you see any comparisons at all to him being similar to how Pitlick slammed the door open for himself last year.
I think that that's a fair assessment. The opportunity is there. The unfortunate thing with JJ is we've never really got to see him consistently play, often due to injury. So he's got to find a way to stay healthy, and he's a big body, he moves his body well. He can play multiple positions. If he's plays well enough and he's capable of staying here, we want to introduce him to the penalty kill. We think that he can do some of that work, and he provides a physical element. So there's a lot of real good things in his game right now. He looks more comfortable right now, and I think part of that's health and a lot of it's confidence. So let's hope that that parlays into a good camp and an opportunity to play on our team.
Jokinen's just still sore?
No, he skated yesterday. He's just not going to play. He's not playing today. We're looking at some other players. Good. Okay.
each other from being competitors and then teammates often at this time of year. What's your chemistry and relationship like on the ice?
Yeah, we're obviously really good friends off the ice. I've known him since we got drafted here, and we kind of clicked instantly. And I played a few games with him in rookie tournaments, so I haven't had too much experience with him on the ice, but I think, you know, our chemistry off the ice is really going to help with our chemistry on the ice tonight.
You feel pretty good about how you played since Penticton and the rookie game and going into this?
Yeah, I feel really confident. You know, I think you know, being able to get those games in before main camp here, you know, when the big game starts, critical. And you know, I thought I played really well and was able to show what I could do there. So I'm hoping to continue that tonight.
You feel like you and Bear are fighting for the same job? Maybe not right this minute, but certainly over the time.
Yeah, you know, that's part of it. It's competition. You know, the organization, you know, they've let us know they love competition. They always want guys pushing up to try to take guys' spots. So, in a sense, we are probably fighting for the same job. But, you know, it's a friendly competition. You know, we want each other to succeed.
How
So.
much better are you at this camp than, say, last year's, where you say, oh, okay, I kind of get it now?
Yeah, I feel a lot more confident. You know, this is my third main camp, so I feel really good. You know, last year I was able to get this game in tonight. I was in Calgary last year, so I'm hoping that I can be better this year and, you know, show that I've improved.
What's it like playing with Charlie McAvoy? Just a playoff?
I'd make a healthy bet he's going to make the Bruins. Yeah, he's a really good player. You know, he's a good skater. You know, he's got good offensive, defensive abilities. He can kind of do whatever you need him to do. He was our horse back there, and you know, being able to play with him made the game really easy.
What did you do for him? You were the stay-back guy?
Yeah, I took a different role there than I usually take in Portland. I was more of a defensive defender, so I was just moving pucks. You know, I kind of let him do his thing offensively, and I was there as a safety valve just to help him out and you know, move pucks up and you know, try to shut down their forwards while he did his thing.
Talks to Seth much? Does he send you here with any advice?
I don't talk to him a lot. He's busy right now. He's got a tough camp going on in Columbus. With, you know, obviously Tortorella runs a tough training camp, so he's real focused on that. I haven't to talk to him too much. He'll probably send me a text a day just saying good luck, but that's about it.
Thanks.
A little bit about how much different you feel or better you feel this year coming over and trying to make the Oilers compared to starting out here last year as a rookie?
Better. I work hard summer and I feel better and nice to be back here.
Would you like to have one center play with you the whole camp? Like if Nugent Hopkins is your center, that's great. You play with the same guy every day.
That's great. We have Kemia now and we know how to play and that's good.
What did you work on most in the off season?
Power and skills that you need.
And how did you work on those things? And are you noticing a difference?
Eyes, skills, do many things and work hard. Gym.
Do you notice a difference? Do you feel different, more powerful?
Oh yeah. More power and everything.
You guys,
Thank you.
Thanks, Jess.
hey, David's pretty fast. Like, it's different when you're with him. You've had a few days now. What's the biggest adjustment to his speed as somebody who plays with him?
I think just putting the puck in an area and just keeping your mind up to his speed. So little adjustments, but I think each day is getting a little more comfortable. I think the main thing for me, like I said, has just been kind of getting your own game to where you think it has to be for the regular season, and the combinations and the chemistry will kind of take care of themselves. So we've had a couple days now and little test tonight, so it should be good. We're all really excited to play, and as players, we look forward to playing games, not practicing as much. So it'll be good to get out there and play a game.
You played with skilled guys before. Obviously, John Tavares, really skilled player. But is there a part of you that has to get over that, I got to give Connor the puck all the time and accept that, when he gives it to you, you can shoot it or you can carry it a little bit more?
Yeah, I think you got to make your own plays. I think that's what makes, guys that can play with those guys special. They can make their own plays and they have a mind of their own. So, yeah, it's definitely hard not to, be focused on, getting one guy the puck. But I think that's just a learning process and something I kind of learned with Johnny a little bit. And, that's all part of the process. And it's going to be exciting to get out there tonight.
When you look at tonight's game, I certainly wouldn't call it a big game, but your first time to sort of play at Rogers Place with potential future line mates, does it mean anything different to you than maybe if you were back in Long Island and playing preseason? Yeah,
it's exciting for sure. It's I got a little nerves this morning, and that's a good thing. It means I'm excited, ready to go, and it's going to be a good atmosphere. I mean, we saw from the game or inter squad yesterday, the fans, and it'll be cool. Never worn the jersey in a game, so little things like that mean a lot to players. And no matter how old you are, or how many games you played, it's always exciting. And it's no different for me. I'm looking forward to it, and it's going to be fun to come to the rink.
Have you noticed a distinct difference? You had mentioned that you felt like in your conversation with Todd that he really wanted to preach offense, teach offense, just from your past camps in Long Island. Is the system that much different in what they expect from you offensively than what you had in New York? Yeah,
it's different. It's definitely a change. I think little things he preaches are definitely a change, especially when you have the same voice for so many years in one organization. The culture and the structure is a lot different, and the things he preaches are different. So it's definitely a little bit of a learning curve, but it's all things that I'm excited about. I really believe in what he says, and it's just a matter of adjusting to it and getting accustomed to it, and making it happen in the games.
More attacking offensively, is that one of the themes you've noticed from him, and does that suit your game?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think you see the speed and the skill. There's no problem with offense. It's just turning it up ice and turning defense into offense quickly, and little things like that that as players that makes you excited to play for. When you get those opportunities to go up ice and have D joining the rush. So a lot of offense, and he's got a lot of good structural things that I'm looking forward to.
Yep. Calgary. So did you win the coin toss this year?
I guess I pulled the long straw. Yeah, it's yeah, like you said, usually start down there, but I mean, pretty quick trip to Calgary, so it's not a huge deal going down there. But it should be fun starting the season. I mean, even preseason in Edmonton.
Todd and you had the conversation at the end of the year. He challenged you to want to take a few more risks and get back to being that creative offensive guy, which I assume as an offensive player must have been exciting to hear. Is it just more of a mental thing for you when you get on the ice, and have you noticed it, albeit only in scrimmages, how you can be maybe more of a risk taker on the ice?
Yeah, I mean, it's for sure. I think it is more of a mental and physical thing, and I mean, it's just all about picking your spots. I mean, obviously, I still don't want to be reckless and taking unnecessary chances, but at the same time, I mean, I can afford to go a little bit more, and if I'm going to be playing with Jokinen, I mean, we'll see how the lineups kind of shake up, but I know he's a very responsible player. He's been around. Obviously, he's a very smart player, so I have that in the back of my mind too.
And he's also a pretty good offense player at 60 points a few years ago. Like, he's been above 50 on numerous times, where he's kind of maybe an example of a guy who can produce that 50 points and still be reliable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and he's done it for a long time, so he definitely knows how to get it done. And he's a good power play guy, and I mean, played with him yesterday and already kind of got some chemistry, kind of figuring each other's games out. So hopefully it comes quick.
How do you help Jesse, just in the things that he wants to try and get done out there, and find a way to, you know, compliment him and help him?
Yeah, I mean, the way that he was, I know it's just scrimmage, but I mean, the way that he was going yesterday was really good to see. I mean, he was flying every time he got the puck. Seemed like he was taking somebody wide and beating them, and I mean, obviously he's got that speed. He's got a good shot. So whenever I can, if I see him going, I'm gonna move it to him. And I mean, as far as little things, and I just got to talk to him as much as I can. I already am kind of talking to him more and more, and trying to get him comfortable with me and comfortable speaking and asking questions and stuff, because I know for sure it's tough when there is that barrier there.
Is it better than what you experienced with him last year? I mean, I know last year he really struggled with the language, but is there improvement there? Are you able to talk to him more?
Yeah, I'm able to ask him questions, and he's already asked me a couple. So I mean, he's getting better. I think definitely a little bit better than last year. So I think the more time he spends here, the better it's going to get.
And what are they speaking to each other on the bench? Are they speaking Finnish?
When we're talking as a line, it's English, which I'm thankful for, else I'd have no clue what's going on. But when they're speaking to each other, they're quick finish. So
yeah, talking about you?
Yeah, most of the time.
Who's that guy would ever pass? He only wants to do is shoot.
What's that guy doing out here? Yeah.
The other aspect of you playing maybe more offensive is, like, the last few years you've faced a lot of Getzlaf and Kopitars in that situation, and if Leon and Connor are the top two, it seems in today's NHL the top two kind of go against the other one, which should really free you up to, I don't know if easier is the right term, but, you know, non-Ryan Getzlaf type matchups. Does that play into it? Do you think that just automatically should open up more opportunities?
Yeah, probably a little bit. I mean, when you're going up against one of the top offensive guys on the other team, obviously you want to shut them down and play well defensively. And but I mean, we'll see how it goes this season and what the matchups turn out to be. So I mean, I can't think too far ahead right now. I just got to find a way to create and play that two-way game still.
You actually